Well, we are down to the end, and I did time my speech, and it's 3 minutes and 47 seconds. So, have patience. It's always fair to be one of the last ones up here. But again, thank you, Governor. We have a rock star in the room to Julie. I tell you, Julie, I hope you get some family time at home because you're always available and you're always there for us. But I just want to take us back in history, back to 9/11. We all know where we were on that tragic day. I was driving a tractor picking seed corn. And my dad stopped me, got in the cab, and made a statement to me that I'll never forget. He said, "You will remember this day the rest of your life," as I did Pearl Harbor. Your government will ask you of things that you never thought were possible, and she did. Our country asked of its rural small Our country asked of its rural small town America of how we could become energy independent, and we did. Small communities like ours in Nevada, Iowa, gathered around and came together to build one of the greatest industries ever to rise up in rural America. Farmers, teachers, nurses, and even my youngest son of 16 years put their hard-earned dollars together and built one of the world's greatest local businesses. Not only did our dollars stay local to help our schools, roads, security, protection, but we created jobs with local people. And now with the DuPont cellulosic ethanol plant next door to us, we are bursting into the 21st century, tried and true, to our American dream of becoming energy independent. You know that I was in D.C. last week, Governor, and thanks to your phone call and your support, I appreciate that. But, I met with the EPA, and I took with them visuals that Monsanto helped me put together, because when you go into the departments, it's a lot better to understand the story if they've got visuals, that they have if they're on their desk or they've got the task at hand. So our message was well received, but on the plane ride home, I asked the question of who is they that can determine my destiny as a farmer and the dependence on oil that I have no idea where they originated from. Should that be on the label at the local gas station where it came from? This country should be so proud of the farming community today because the free market is working. We as a taxpayer, no longer supporting my occupation, and the market is doing its job of supply and demand. We as farmers are doing our job of growing crops and livestock. With technology, we will be surpassing the 300 bushel mark in the not too distant future. We need to protect our local markets to make sure that there is a home for that much more corn in the future. The co-products coming out of these plants have re-energized the livestock industry of this state and will continue to march forward. We as farmers and ranchers have worked hard, but most of all, with the use of science-based technology, are feeding and fueling the world. But Governor, as a farmer of this great country, I feel betrayed by the powers above. We did what was asked of us. We have made this country less dependent on foreign oil, but we continue to have to defend what was asked of us. So where do we go from here? Our president could stop this with the stroke of a pen. As you stated in the condition of the state address, it is going to start here. Iowa is and will take the lead on this front and help educate and move agriculture forward with the science and the dedication that we as Iowans have. We will continue to stand toe-to-toe with our opponent on every front that is before us. When I think back of how we struggled and survived through the 80s, only through the grace of God are we still here. The market is working. Do not send me back to the 80s. Let me do my job with the access to a free market and continue to grow and raise our families in our local communities. Leave the RFS alone. Thank you, Governor.